And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, good friend of mine, Mark Pacpaco.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, Mark?
Oh, I'm good.
You know what? Both of us were destined to be friends.
Really?
Yes, because I have my name in your last name.
Oh. That's so true, though.
Right?
That's so true. Pacpaco. Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Pero, the reality is, the reason why they called me Paco was because my last name is Arespacochaga.
Mm-hmm.
So, ikaw naman Pacpaco. Ako, Arespaco.
Yes.
Oh, diba?
Yeah. So
I'm surprised you didn't even go by the name of Paco because that's the reason why I just went by the name of Paco because of my last name.
Blame it on the parents.
What's your nickname?
Anong nickname? It would be what they call me at home would be, because my name is Mark Timothy.
Oh,
right?
Marty.
So you combine that and they kind of call me Timmy at home.
Timmy?
Yeah,
Not
Timmy.
even Marty?
No Marty.
Okay.
No Marty of the sort. So I grew up with that name.
Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy.
In school, what did they call you in school?
Mark. First name.
Solid.
First name. Yeah, first name.
No one's ever called you MT?
MT, no. No one has until right now.
Wow. But it would be nice to call you full as opposed to empty.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, to all of you watching and to all of you listening, Mark and to all of you lazy enough to actually read the description, my guest tonight is actually 2017's Guitar Center Drum Off Champion, the 28th. Was it the 28th annual? 27th, 28th? 28th.
I kind of forget. Yeah, 28th.
28th.
Yeah,
You were the 28th Guitar Center Drum Off Champion that was
Yes.
held back in 2017.
Yeah, January. Oh, just remember it like it was yesterday.
Not only was it like yesterday, you were younger when this happened. No?
Yeah. I'm going to be 23 very soon. I was 19 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, 19, yeah. Time goes by.
And guys, I'll post the link in the description below so you can watch this guy play. He'll totally blow you away. You know, parang, let's go back, huh? How old were you when you learned how to play the drums?
Good question. Well, first of all, I would say it was a God-given gift. Because I think I was brought up in a Christian household.
Amen.
So, by the grace of God, we went to church ever since day one. Even when I was born, like mom was never allowed to stay home. She just went to church with me as the baby. So, I think I started hitting the drums at least around age 2.
Wow.
Yeah, around age 2. But this wasn't like I was like no one taught me whatsoever. So I think it was, after service, Filipino churches.
Of course.
They
while they were doing potluck.
Exactly. See, that's how we were brought up. So during the potluck, I just sat there. I was bored out of my mind, I think. And then I just picked up the pair of sticks and started playing. Yeah.
You were 2, but when did you consciously know you were playing the drums?
Ooh.
Oh my God, these are sticks.
Yeah, these are sticks. Had to be when I was like, well, I would say still, okay, I would say 3. I would say
3.
1 year after, because
You were consciously aware that I'm actually going to go pick up some sticks and bang it on the drums.
okay, no, 2 years after, 5. 5. Because 3 years old, my grandma from my mom's side saw me playing drums when I was, a young boy. So she gifted me a toy drum set in our apartment. Now, of course,
Nice.
we were in an apartment, so of course I couldn't play it
Of course.
too much. So, but that was like my little formal introduction to the
Wow.
instrument. So, but I was not conscious of it again until say 5.
And I believe you. You know why I believe you? Because I have a 5-year-old daughter
Oh,
who's very good at drawing,
okay.
who's very good at coloring. She's a colorist.
Oh, wow.
And at 5. So she was like, Dad, will you draw with me? I go, Sure. And then she has all these crayons, and she's like, draw a flower. I go, okay, what color do I need? Here, you'll need green, you'll need mauve. Mauve?
What's that?
The heck are you talking about? And this lady is 5 years old, huh? And she knows her color coordination and all that stuff. And it's amazing. So yeah, I believe you when you say at 5 you were consciously aware you were playing the drums.
Yeah, it's also because the drummer that was there, of course, he was a taller person, so I was not able to hit the bass drum pedal. Right. So when I just took a random stool from a flower pot, and then I was able to sit on it and actually hit the bass drum with my foot. Then that's when I was conscious that I'm playing drums now.
Now, when did you start? When did you start being coordinated behind the drums?
Had to be 5 or 6. I'm not.
What was going through a 5-year-old? Now, the reason why we're talking about this is because I know that there are parents out there who probably might be encouraging, discouraging their kids because they might think their kids are too young. But I believe that's the right age to form good habits for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right? Yeah. And like, because my parents knew where I was. They were having a potluck, eating with the church. And I was in the sanctuary just playing. But
5 or 6.
You
you were aware of coordination that this goes here, this goes, the left hand goes there, the right foot goes here.
Right. Because the other drummer did it. So when I saw that, I was just like, okay.
You were never intimidated by it?
No, not really. I think at first I was intimidated by performing. I never performed until I was age 7. So the me getting used to the coordination thing was just all solo. I had so much time on my hands, so I just sat down and I just try to do something with.
Are you one of those kids that actually the cliche story of I used my pillows as my drum set? Were you one of those kids?
You can say that, but it's different. It's not pillows.
What'd you use?
I think when we went to Chinese restaurants, it was chopsticks.
Chopsticks on plates.
Yeah, so I was that annoying kid in the in a Chinese restaurant, and just picked up chopsticks and just did something. Parents got annoyed by it. It was funny, but that was my formal introduction to just playing.
Did your mom and dad finally say this guy needs lessons? Did you go formal?
You know what? Fortunately, I mean they always believe that. They always believe that hey, I should get some lessons. But fortunately, my mom's family, my uncle specifically, he was musically inclined. He's a professional drummer. Yeah. So
he taught you the rudiments and all that stuff.
No. You know what? He did not. He just taught me.
So unfair, your uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle.
No, but I think what he taught me was the basic fundamentals of dynamics and feel.
And feel. Let's go there. Huh? And I want to go there because I remember. Do you know Buwi Meneses of Parokya ni Edgar?
Oh, no.
There's this popular band in the Philippines called Parokya ni Edgar. Again, guys, you are witnessing a generation gap right now.
Yes.
Mark is actually young enough to be my son. So this band, Parokya ni Edgar, I love their bassist. He's actually on season 2 of Paco's Place as well. He has a podcast episode, so I'll put a link in the description as well. This guy and me jammed for the first time.
Wow.
And after the gig, his comment was, "Dang, we're so tight." I actually felt us bass and drums there, right? And he was like, "What was it? Was it your dynamics?" That's what he said. That's what he asked me, and I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "I've never actually played with a lot of drummers who had a control of dynamics."
Yeah, and that's very,
very important.
Very important, of course.
I see a lot of drummers who are very good rudimentally, technique-wise, but they suck at dynamics.
Yeah, I agree.
And at a young age, you were taught that by your uncle.
Yeah, that was actually my second lesson. My first lesson was actually, he told me to give a hug to my parents.
Why?
Because, okay, I did. I mean, I listened because he was my uncle, but of course I didn't understand why at the time. But that was basically my mindset from here on out. Ever since every time I go on the drums, whether it's for church or it's a secular gig, like he told me, that's the mindset you must have when you approach the drums. You know, when you sit down, you treat it like it's yours. You treat it like you love it. You treat it like you really, really love the instrument and you really want to get to know it better. So the fact that I hugged my parents is the same mindset.
Ganda.
Yeah, because my dad specifically, he was the one that bought me my first drum set. Yeah, so when that happened, that was when I had my first lesson with my uncle, and that was
nice.
That was my task. It was very interesting. No rudiments whatsoever. I was not taught how to play it, like hold a stick. It was none of that, like, or how to do gospel chops or anything like that. My first lesson was to go and hug your parents. Yeah.
So you got that. It became a mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Then second lesson was dynamics.
Dynamics. Yeah.
How did he teach you that?
Oh, so my uncle doesn't know how to play guitar, but he's wanting me to get the idea. So he just picks up a guitar, plugs it in, and he wants me to play with him. So he did, but he told me to just analyze the situation. He didn't say that like specific. Of course, I was a young boy, so I don't know what analyze means, but he wants me
awareness, right?
Awareness.
He wanted you to be aware of what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So when he was playing quiet, he wanted me to play quiet. And this was just a simple rock beat. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi-hat, 8 notes. That's it. But you adjust your tone to the guitar sound, right? So when he was playing quiet, I played quiet. And then when he goes loud, I go loud. That was pretty much the idea that he was going for. Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'm so proud of you right now for actually saying what you're saying because situational awareness will really earn you the respect of your peers.
Oh yeah, I mean, I kind of developed that mindset ever since, like,
and that allows you to jam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that allows me to jam, and that allows me to jam in almost any situation.
Yes.
Yeah. I can go to an open mic. Yeah. Nothing's set up.
Yeah.
Or the house kit is
not even knowing what's going on.
Not even knowing what's going on.
Situational awareness kicks in. Boom, you're there.
Yeah, it's just you get into that moment where you're just like feeling everything, and then all of a sudden, let's just play some drums.
Yeah.
You know? So that's it was very important to me. So
were you ever invited to join your praise and worship team?
I was.
How old?
7. That was
7.
Yeah, that was my first time.
They kicked the drummer out, or did they start another service?
No. Me and him, we're still great friends, by the way. But me and him, we just switched, and it's actually almost every time my father led praise and worship, then I would play with him.
Okay.
Yeah, because of course, son and father.
How does it feel playing with your dad?
Oh, it's good. I love playing with my dad.
How many siblings do you have?
1. Yeah,
so what's the Pacpaco household look like? What does it look like? Mom, dad, brother, sister. Perfect family setup. Oh.
Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, and like when dad realized it was a girl, and he's like, "Honey, that's it." That's it.
Are you the eldest?
I am the eldest. Yes.
You're the eldest.
Yes. So, what do you mean by family household? What do you mean?
Like. Were you more of a tight-knit family, or everybody did their own thing?
Oh.
Because like dad bought you a drum kit. I'm looking back. My dad actually hated the fact that I played an instrument.
Wow.
He wanted me to be an architect. He wanted me to be that. I was the only guy in the family that actually held an instrument and had to ditch college just to make a point.
Yeah.
So no support there. So I went against the grain. That's why I'm very curious because you had that environment of love and support in your family.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it was good. I think
bring your mic down, by the way.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
I think our family was very, very, we were tight knit, of course. I think I was typical of almost every Filipino family, unless you go against what they want. But we were very close, absolutely. And we still are. I don't want to, okay. We still are. I still live with them. So, and they're amazing people, lovers of God, and praise God for that. But our family, they worked so hard to come to the States, because they were all from the Philippines. And so this is why we're like very tight knit, because our whole family from both sides, they're in California now. So, I mean, there's a little exclusion of some people, but mostly all of our family is in California. So my cousins are in California. My uncles and aunties are in California, with the exception of my uncle and my aunt, one of my uncles and my aunt. But mostly
they're here.
Yeah, they're here. They're here.
You were born here.
I was Cedar Sinai.
Wow.
Yeah, in LA.
Now, this, it's such a blessing hearing all these stories from you, because what I sense in you is a heart of gratefulness.
Oh, yeah.
Was there ever a time that you rebelled against your parents?
That's a good question. I'm saying this on the air. I would say there's some, but not enough to have a recollection in my head. Of course.
Like, were there times wherein your mom or dad would say, "No drums today"?
No, actually, no. They actually never did that. Yeah,
Galing
and that was very nice of them. But they knew.
And you were grateful for this, right? That they never stopped you with your passion.
No, they did not. In fact, like, I still go to school right now in pursuance of a degree. But
what
it's
course?
Mathematics.
The heck?
Yeah, math major. I know, weird, huh? But I like the subject. But what they said is don't stop playing. Yeah. So they know, like, I have a busy schedule with school and stuff, but they always encourage me, like, that's why I have a YouTube channel, so they always encourage me, like, dude, every end of the month post a cover on YouTube. Yeah. They always encourage me, like don't stop, like, we're not telling you to stop.
How does it feel to have parents who actually push you toward your passion?
Oh, it's good.
Now, is drumming really your passion, or is it math? Be honest.
Oh, it's definitely drums. Absolutely. Yeah.
Why didn't you take up music in college?
That's a good question, because I think it was just my parents wanted me to, have an open mind a little bit. But
it's math.
Yeah.
1 + 1 will always be 2. How open-minded can you be?
Yeah. But I was the thing was, actually, growing up, my initial goal when it came to school was to be an engineer.
Nice.
Yeah, to be an engineer. And then I took an engineering class and I hated it. I hated it. And I realized that, I know the money is there, but it's not for me. I'm not enjoying it. So the fact of the matter is, I was doing very well in math.
Okay.
So I pursued that instead, and we'll see how it goes from there.
So after math, this is more applied math or just math?
Math with an emphasis on teaching.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
imagine you become a professor.
Yeah, that would be great. You
don't want to be a session musician or something like that?
I have thought of that.
So you were at a crossroad of being a session musician.
Of course.
And why? How do I say this? Why did you have second thoughts?
Yeah, because
was there someone in your family or in your life who discouraged you from actually from actually pursuing that route?
Well, I think it's more of more me. I think because there was a time where after the drum off there was nothing coming my way. I was with a band at the time, but no longer. So because we we all moved and we all went our separate ways. So because of that, it kind of, and also because it was because of the pandemic too, that played a huge factor. And the fact that I'm only working at the church that I really love going to and worshiping God there. So it's also because, this notion that I did not know that my parents put aside funds, college funds
For you.
for me. Yeah, I did not know that because every time it was my birthday, they actually had adequate funds enough to, buy me a gift. So I always assumed like, okay, they're broke. They're not gonna support me for college. But no, they had enough funds for college.
Aren't you? You're blessed now. Do you consider yourself? Do you know you're blessed?
Oh yeah. By
You're grateful for being blessed. Right?
yeah, by His grace only. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
That's great.
I agree. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the drum off.
Mm-hmm.
What made you compete?
Ooh.
Are you competitive by nature? No.
After the drum off, no. I am a humble person. But before the drum off,
Okay.
I would think so.
Let's take a break.
Mm-hmm.
A short break, and then let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll be back with Mark Pacpaco. Let's talk about this. You said before the break, when I asked you if you were competitive, you said after the break, after the drum off, you became a humble person.
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Explain. Okay, I shall explain. I think.
By the way, would you recommend drummers to actually join a drum off competition?
Oh, of course. By any means possible. Yeah.
Now, let's start your journey.
Yeah. Start the journey. So I actually got the drive to compete. Actually, it wasn't from my parents. Actually, it was actually from my high school band teacher at West Covina High School, named Steve Olivas.
Shout out.
Shout out to you. Amazing band director, but he was a great drummer. He taught me.
You guys had more of like a whiplash relationship, no?
Yes.
What's the tempo?
Yeah, I think so. He taught me very good stuff from my freshman year all the way to senior years in high school, and I was in his jazz band all my years in high school.
Okay.
So he taught me how to play jazz like the way I play jazz now. So I would not have my jazz chops without the contribution of him, Mr. O. So let's talk about that. He was the one that encouraged me to actually do the drum off competition, and then my
Really?
parents were like, "Let's do it." Yeah.
How many people compete for this competition?
Oh
for
my
this
gosh!
annual competition?
At the time, I say at the time because they're no longer doing it because Guitar Center is in a little bit of a mess. But at the time, more than 3,000 to 5,000 drummers from all over the United States compete for this, single prize.
And you knew that, right?
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Now, looking at the top of the mountain, did you actually visualize and envision yourself as the person at the top of the mountain?
I did.
You did.
I did. Yeah. But
Please explain further, because
let's
other people would say, maybe I can, one baby step at a time. But you looked at the mountain and said, yep, that's me at the top of the mountain.
Well, let's be specific because I think everyone's goal that was in my opinion was actually to get there to the finals.
See,
and
finals.
Yeah, exactly.
And the goal stops there. But you just said that your goal was not to be a finalist.
Yeah,
your
I wanted to win. Yeah, so
the champion.
So that was my goal. So what was the question again?
Question: did you see yourself at the top of the mountain?
Yes, I did. So let me explain. It was actually a lesson from the first time I did it, which was 2016. That was the first time I did it.
What was your vision then in 2016?
Oh, to do your best to come to the finals, because it was
so different goal.
Different goal. Yeah, just to It was just a guinea pig.
Hold on. At least people, because again, the reason why I'm asking you this question, at age 10, I said I was going to be a rock star.
You are.
Because I said the same thing at age 10. At age 10, and at age, I kid you not, guys. I mean, I don't want to. This is not to impress you guys, but to impress upon you that you have to manifest it in your head and you have to live it inside of you before it comes out, right?
Yeah.
So as a young kid, remember, no musical experience, no musical background, no musical DNA. I said I was going to be a songwriter.
And you are.
And I am. I said I was going to be oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'll say it. I said I was going to be a matinee idol. And it happened for a while. Without any plastic surgery. But I looked like I was pangit. Pangit ako nung bata ako. Sobrang pangit ako nung bata.
Are you sure?
Ako. Yeah. That's why my mom and dad said, go get a career in architecture. I think nothing's gonna... Parang, okay, mom, dad. And then I said I was gonna be a drummer, but I couldn't dance and I couldn't carry a beat. But I said I was gonna be one.
Okay.
And I did. But then again, looking back and talking to you and talking to other people, the common denominator is we are who we said we will be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So in 2016, you probably said, umabot lang ako sa finals. I get to the finals, I'm good. Did you get to the finals in 2016?
No, I did not. I came up short.
She came up short.
Yeah, round 2, I think.
But see, when 2017, when you said, I can see myself at the top of the mountain, you actually tapped that board and you were at the top of the mountain, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let's go back now. 2016 first, go.
2016. So guinea pig run, I would say, because I did not know what the heck was going on. The octopad was a thing. So I would go ahead. I would even just go straight forward and just argue that the octopad was necessary to win. I didn't believe that.
Like that octopad behind you?
Yeah, the octopad was necessary to win because...
Why?
Because everyone was using it. Yeah, from 2011. I don't know if you watch all the Guitar Center drum-off videos, but when I was competing, that's all I watched. All the Guitar Center drum-off videos that they posted, even including the ones who did not win. Because most of those drummers that you see that competed in the finals, they're already playing drums for big people already.
Wow.
And they didn't even win. Okay?
Wow.
So I remember this one guy, his name is Devon Taylor. He competed twice in the finals, lost both, right? But now you look at him. I mean, the dude is playing for Justin Bieber. Dude was playing for just big name artists, big names. Yeah. So I was just like, maybe that's the reason why, those drummers who wanted to go to who wanted to compete in the drum off have this common denominator where the goal is to make it to the finals. Maybe that's why. So
yes, just to get noticed.
Yeah, just to get noticed, because that's basically how they can get a good, jump start.
Yeah, because it's a good thing on their resume.
Yeah, of course.
Drum off finalist, right?
But I wanted to say drum off champion. That's the difference. So anyway, sidetrack. So round 1, it was 2016. I didn't believe in that. I wanted to prove the judges wrong in any way, sense, shape, or form, that I can go all the way without the octopad. So
what was so significant about the octopad?
So I don't really know, but I think it was just more of a musical aspect. I think the Guitar Center drum off was kind of shying away from a generic or general drum solo, just drums. And they wanted to make it more musical in a sense. So, I mean, it makes sense. But the thing was, like, you weren't supposed to trigger any loops with the octopad. You had to hit it.
Right.
You had to hit it one sound comes out. That's it. But there is a little bit of loopholes when you can add in some delays and stuff like that. So you're basically creating music with the octopad and soloing over it. So in a sense, it was hard. It's difficult because, and that's what people don't understand when it comes to, like, because I love it when people like try to hate on the champions just making music with a drum. It's still a drum solo.
Yes, it is.
It's still a drum solo. He's still hitting the pad, and the fact that he's hitting the pad, first of all, it's a small target.
Yes,
very
small.
very small target.
Should we show them how it looks like?
And these dudes are.
Let me get it.
Of course. Very small on the man.
Show them how it looks like.
Yeah. How do we do this?
Just wait. Let's remove. There you go.
So, not many people just realize how small the octopad is. When you want to trigger something, you have to hit this, or this, or this. This is small. Okay? This is smaller than any drum that you can ever hit. And if you hit the wrong one, then it's going to sound whack. So
compare that to a 10-inch, a 12-inch, a 16-inch radius. Right.
So that was my defense when it came to, champions using this, because you have to hit the right pad. Otherwise, your solo's whack. So.
Right. And this is plastic, which meant that if you didn't hit the rubber, you're going to get an ugly sound going.
Yeah, exactly. So it had to be set up right, and you had to, use the samples from the octopad only.
Because you can't put any samples on
No, you can't.
Were you allowed to use the SPDSX? No.
No, we were not. Just the octopad.
Interesting.
Yeah, just the octopad. That was the general hate for it, because I think they said it was a marketing gimmick, which, okay.
Yeah, because Roland was sponsoring.
Yeah, makes sense, but drummers need to understand that this is hard.
Yes.
This is difficult. So,
but then again, it pushes drummers to embrace technology.
And to open their minds.
Yeah.
Because,
Were you open to it? No.
I was. Even though I lost in my first try, 2017 was like the time to okay. So we got the octopad. Dad bought the octopad from Sweetwater. And so I practiced on it. And then
you can put it back on.
Okay, of course.
So, okay.
And then
now,
okay.
2017. So, when you lost, you were okay.
Oh, yes, of course, because
how are you in handling defeat?
Oh, very humble, very gracious. I'm not the one who's going to go on social media and be like, the judges suck.
Right,
not that kind of guy. I accept defeat with grace. But the thing was, the judges were not being dicks about it, if you know what I mean. They did not choose a winner because it was a favored. They this is the guy who should represent us. It's not no politics was involved.
They were really non-impartial to whoever was there at the finals.
Yeah, it was a good show that night. I had a great time, and if anything, the judges told me that I was the show stealer that night. It's just that they wanted me to use this. So I understood, but at the same time, my notion was, let me go to the finals without it. Right. So my plan was for 2017 to go use the octopad, and then once I hit finals, risk losing by not using the octopad.
That was your plan.
That was my plan to just prove a point. But see,
okay, what happened?
The day of signups for the 2017 drum off, they announced that they're no longer using it. So I was just like, all right, Dad, return this. Thank you. So we were done. So I was just like, okay, well then this makes it a lot easier. So because if I had to use this, it would be difficult. So it would be difficult to win. So
God was paving the way for you.
Oh, he was. He's like, go through the ring. Go through it. So yeah, so that was the end of my first one. Great time again. Had a great time, and I did win some prizes from it. So it was very nice.
Did you get your endorsements from the 2016 drum off?
No, I did not. It was 2017. Yeah, if I was endorsed, I would not be able to compete. So I had to win.
So in 2017, what was the feeling like during the finals?
being there or like
First being there.
first being there? Okay.
Now remember, sophomore try, right? Because you were there.
Yeah,
2016.
sophomore try. Yeah, it's my second try. I only did it 2 times, and it was the last time.
So you were there now.
Yes, I was there. They treated all 5 finalists, including me, like celebrities.
Really?
I would assume so. We had a red carpet and everything. I don't know if you were there. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
No, it's okay. But literally, they flew the other finalists from the other side of the United States all the way to LA. We all met each other at a photo shoot for the drum.
Did they put you in a hotel prior to the?
They did. They put us at the Lux.
Wow.
Yeah, right next to the Novo Theater.
Yeah.
So we had like, oh my gosh, this is the first time I've ever been treated to an exquisite hotel.
At 19.
At 19, yeah. So like I was your generic college anime freak kid that
Naruto.
yeah, Naruto and all that stuff that just did not deserve that kind of hotel. Like I was blown away.
Was Mr. Rowe proud of you?
Who?
Your jazz teacher.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah, absolutely. When he found the news, when he found out that I was in, he was very happy.
Okay, so now a day before the competition, what was that like?
Well, the day before, I think it was just a free day because the day before we all went to DW.
Let me backtrack. Huh?
Okay.
5,000 plus good drummers.
Oh, they were all good.
Down to 5. Did you have time to look back to actually say, dang?
No, I did not.
So eyes face forward.
Yeah, eyes face forward. Yeah. The day after, well,
so DW, what do you guys do at DW?
Well, actually, let's backtrack to semis real quick. Because that was my lasered. I was always lasered. I was especially lasered for semis. After round 2.
So your eyes were on semis.
Yeah. So I think after round 2, that was like when my focus was like, okay, so
we're here now.
We're here. So took a break for a week just to lay off the solo.
Did you have to change your solo every round? No.
Yes.
You had to.
I or at least I wanted to because from round 2 to the semis in Hollywood, that was the first round where they extended your 3-minute solo to 5 minutes.
Okay.
So 2 more minutes of content. So I had to use that time. I had to make more ideas. In fact, I actually made notes just to present my ideas. And we worked on it from there. And then same thing. Yeah. So just took a week break and then just really just dived in, just to really come up with ideas and perfect the drum solo. And then after Hollywood, right, went to the finals again, 1 week break. Don't even think about it. Because I was still at school. So I still had to focus on school. But after that, yeah, 1 week, like develop the solo or practice it.
But you can see the solo in your head, right? No.
Define that. Let me try to get it a little bit more.
I'm doing a solo.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this part, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
For how many bars, and then I'm going to do this fill in to get to this section of the solo. You can see that in your head.
Yes, because it was practiced God knows how many times.
So even when you're at school, if you decide to just turn it on, you can see the solo in your head.
I can. Yes. Yeah. It had to be engraved into my head.
Okay.
So I practice it so many times at home. So and then now going to the finals. Actually, before the finals, I even rehearsed it to a point where my dad was in front of me. Yeah, so that was very interesting.
Precision played a big part in your solo.
Precision?
Like the precision of executing this.
Oh, yes.
Here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How detailed were you and how disciplined were you in the execution?
Oh, my goodness. It was very, very disciplined. It had to be It had to be because you're in the final rounds now. Yeah, you literally have to go all in.
It had to be clean.
Yeah, it had to be clean.
Had to be
clean.
Yeah.
So, but I even have to satisfy the judges in the timing aspect.
But we're not talking about the judges yet. We're talking about you first.
But
trying to shed
right
in how do you know within yourself that okay, this solo is judges ready. How did you?
Because again, because I watched so many drum off videos, and I try to not make my solos look like theirs.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
Although there was a groove that I used from a fellow champion, SAS Gill, that I've used as a foundation, as a carpet, but I didn't use it. I didn't replicate it exactly to the verbatim, right? But that was the foundation, and then expanded off of that. So
now you felt you were ready. Now you knew that. Now you knew what the judges were looking for.
And also in terms of content as well, because I only had 5 minutes. If I went over, I think
disqualified.
I know not disqualified, but I think the score would hurt a lot.
Okay.
Did
you have a timer?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. They in rounds 1 and 2, 3 minutes. They tap you on the shoulder. Whoever had the time, they tap you on the shoulder to remind the drummer that they have 30 seconds.
Okay.
Or something. If they go over, their scores would get dinged, and the commentator would be like, "All right, blah blah blah."
If you go under,
if you go under, great.
Okay.
But let's not go significantly under, right? So it's not like don't go 1 minute under, otherwise something might happen.
Like 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah, that was basically the time I aimed for almost all the time.
Yeah.
So same thing for 5 minutes. When you went to Hollywood and to LA, they gave us a tap on the shoulder to remind us that we have 1 minute. You have to like watch the drum solo, like very like you need to see it because the guy Mariah, the drum
tapper,
the drum dude at Guitar Center Hollywood, he's the one that's doing it. So like you really have to have like a really good eye in order to see him like tap. Yeah. So yeah,
he's very discreet.
Oh, very discreet, very discreet. Yeah, you just have to watch the video multiple times in order to see him. But he's there. He's there just to remind the drummers, yo, got a minute. So, but we rehearsed that too.
Oh.
That's what I mean by very, very detailed. My dad was right there in front of me. So he had a timer. First time I hit the downbeat, starts it.
Okay.
And then he raises his finger up just to let me know that I have a minute left. And so that's how I planned it. Because I have to end, say, 4:50 to 5 minutes.
Right.
Otherwise, guy's gonna give me another tap, and then that would. I was just like, dude, no, I don't want another tap.
Yes.
So, that's what we worked on, like just to make sure that we have enough content for 5 minutes and to avoid another tap. So,
now, the night before the actual competition, were you relaxed? Were you uptight? Were you anxious? What was the feeling like?
Good question. I love that question. Because I would admit that there were nerves coming in the day before. Yeah, I would definitely admit that because it's big. It's a big stage.
It's very big.
It's a big stage.
A big opportunity also.
Yeah, the biggest stage I've ever performed in my entire life. Really.
Okay.
So of course the nerves were there, but I was pretty relaxed. I would say. At the same time, just anxious about the next day that's about to come. But I was relaxed because, what's really nice about the competitors, all of them are believers. Okay.
Wow.
So
nice.
The fact that they're all believers, we all got out of the hotel. We all hung out together. We actually went to Denny's, for crying out loud. And
did you guys pray before the show?
Oh yeah. Yeah, me and Anthony, we prayed before the show, and it was amazing. Yeah, it's like just let the Holy Spirit just like invade the whole stadium right now.
Yeah.
So, and that was very important to me because, we were all gracious to each other in the end. Like we all respected each other's playing. Like we saw how we played, in the photo shoot actually, because we had a photo shoot /video shoot so that they can premiere us in the venue, give us a little formal introduction of ourselves. So we were instructed to play, and yeah, they set up a pearl kit on the stage, and we just played, and we were just blown away. Every single player, including me, that went up on that platform just to shed, and they were just like, yes. They're absolutely very respectful,
right?
And that's the thing, because like people have, these drummers, they have fan bases. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because 3 of them, they have competed in the finals before. So they already have like a loyal fan base, and I was nothing, So I was coming up, Filipino, eats adobo, sinigang every single day, but I was like really like no one knew me, So, but the fact that they had the fan base that they have, and they still approached me with God's grace and stuff like that was very, very amazing.
Nice.
Very nice and very great experience for me to have, because in the end, we knew that we were all winners. It just mattered.
So you gained 4 friends, huh?
Oh, absolutely. We all still talk. Even though we're in our separate ways, we all support each other in the direction that we're all going. So, yeah, it was amazing.
You know what? I want to talk about the actual competition, but we'll take another short break, and then we'll be back with Mark. Now,
the nitty gritty.
Here we go. The morning of the competition.
Oh man!
The reason why we're talking about this, by the way, Mark, is because there are people who don't know what to expect when they're competing. Because there's a certain mindset for it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right? Take us down that road so that we can understand. During the break, I told you, I'm probably not going to succeed in this because I'm non-competitive when it comes to this. Right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm talking to you now. You're a very laid-back kind of person. You're bubbly. You have a pure heart.
Oh, thank you.
But then you're a warrior. You're a champion. And there is a certain trait to become that person. There's a certain discipline to become that person.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to share that with me and to our audience. What was the mindset like on game day?
Game day, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, game day, yan. Okay. So day of, definitely wasn't formal. Okay. Definitely not like I was chill. I wasn't. If I told you I was chill, I would be the greatest liar in the world. Like the nerves were there. And it was there. It was more so now that
because you wanted this, right?
Yes, absolutely. So the fact that I got to see the stage before the competition tonight, that night, because we got to go in and sound check the drums the morning.
Did you have your own drum kit?
No. No.
Everybody was using the same drum kit.
Actually, so there were 2 kits.
So your technical ride, did they ask for a technical rider? How you wanted?
Yes, we had a rider.
Okay.
But mainly our setup was left to ourselves, and our of course rider was there just to help. And fortunately, our rider was actually very good. He actually knew what the hell he was doing. So that's good for us. So, but the two drum kits that were there, Yamaha recording custom, the new recording custom that they came out with. That was the first year that they brought it back. And then it was the Tama Star. So those were the 2.
Star Classic or just
No, the Star, the top of the line. So, is it top of the line?
Isn't it the Star Classic?
Star. Well, I think there's the Tama Star. That's
there's
like
a Star, huh?
Yeah, custom line, I believe. So,
wow.
Yeah, so they had that. Those were the 2 kits that were offered, and I got to play on the Yamaha, which I was like, yes. So the thing about it, before we get into the nitty gritty, was that the Yamaha had a tom holder, okay, which made it easy to set up the toms.
Yes.
While the Star had hanging toms.
Oh.
Virgin kick.
Oh.
So when I heard that I was number 4, and number 1 plays the tama.
Number 2 plays the Yamaha. Number 3 plays the Tama. Number 4 plays the Yamaha.
Yamaha.
Yeah,
So I was just like,
okay.
so that nerve about setting up the kit gone.
What are your drums in the house prior to this? What were your drums?
Gretsch Renown.
No, does the Gretsch have a tom holder?
No, it was Virgin.
A Virgin holder.
Yeah, so I was kind of prepared for that situation,
also.
but at the same time I wasn't, because in my division we were playing Tama drums, and all of the drums had tom holders. So I was just like, I was used to it.
Yes.
So if I had to play the Tama Star, I had to work with the Virgin kick again. I'm just like, so
how many minutes did you have to set up?
3. Yeah, 3.
So while the other guy was...
Yeah, but he was very helpful. He knew like, yo, where do you want this? Yeah, that kind of thing. So he was very helpful. So my setup was very fast. It was very fast because I had the Yamaha one. So,
right, okay.
So that setting up thing nerve out of the way. So
did you watch the others perform before you?
Oh, yes. I was backstage.
Was that helpful, watching what your competitors were doing? Think about it.
That's a good question, because I genuinely enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah.
It took your mind off the fact
that I'm competing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That I was like, it took my mind off the competition for a bit, because I get to like absorb, the journey that they're taking me in. Like it was amazing. It was amazing. And of course my turn came up. I was just like, oh snap, so I was nervous, of course. Big stage. I had to be nervous. If I wasn't,
mom was there, sister was there,
the whole
dad
family,
was there, everybody.
the whole family.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first time like the whole family was
amazing.
Yeah, they were making noise in LA, so that was very good. So of course I was nervous, especially when they had my introduction on the big screen. Lights were off, just getting ready, and I think at that moment when the lights were off and they were like introducing me, I was already on the kit. So I just stretched, did my hand stretches, like drummers, they do this all the time just to get the blood flowing. Because, we kind of warmed up in the back, but technically we didn't warm up. So, because I guess warming up's not a thing. So I had to get the blood flowing. But at that moment, what was very important to me was that I prayed by myself. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to pray by myself. So, of course,
you were not listening to the introduction while it was blaring on the speakers. You were like just having your zen with God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Of course. Yeah, just let me do well and be happy with the results. Let's see how all these judges, very famous drummers, by the way, Thomas Lang was there.
He was.
Tony Royster was there.
He was.
Yeah. Hannah Welton, Hannah Ford, Cora Coleman.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, all these great drummers that,
they were the judges.
Without the drum off, I wouldn't be able to meet by any means. They were all there. Yeah. So
Tony Royster.
Mm-hmm. So, So I think So it was important for me to pray, and the fact that the lights weren't on me yet gave me some time. So I had to pray. So and then right after that, I was nervous before my first hit. Once I started the downbeat, gone. Yeah.
Do you still remember your solo?
Like being there?
Like, no, do you still remember your solo piece? I know it's been, 3 years?
3 years, maybe not all of it probably, but most of it.
Run us through the solo.
Okay. All right. a rough draft.
Yeah.
I started
But it's on YouTube, right?
Yes, it's on YouTube.
Which means after this, I'll post the link so that you guys could go to that
of course.
and watch it. Let's see if Mark can give us a blow by blow.
The introduction, very short, was just a plethora of just double strokes on the snare. Snares are off at this moment.
So
just to make
timbale sounding.
Yeah, timbale sounding. That was the idea. And then just be melodic around the kit. Let's see what you can do. Just make a formal
Now,
intro.
was that an improvisation or
technically improvisation, but it was rehearsed.
Okay.
Like I had a time where I wanted to release to start the groove, and then it's that kind of thing. So like I had a time where I wanted to release it and start something else.
Right.
So I knew exactly where. So I did that. Be melodic around the kit. Split between my hands and my foot, you guys saw that, that's basically what I was doing. And then started with the Latin groove that I did in the beginning. So
snares on.
Snares are still off.
Oh, yeah, still off.
Still with the timbales. And if you watch it, it's you're hitting the stick with your right stick, and it's naturally making a double stroke.
Yes.
So you try to make a rhythm with it, and that's basically the idea behind it. Isaiah Skill was the one who
originally did it,
but I expanded on it. And so the foundation, again, the carpet was Latin at that time. So I did lots of Latin stuff, made up.
How many minutes are we in now?
Probably not even within the first minute yet.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So I did that, made a Latin foundation thing, created some licks, and then after that I transitioned same tempo with a beat.
What was the tempo?
Like
fast, huh?
One, yeah.
So
yeah. So it was like that, and then but it was just straight like we're gonna do a rock beat on top of it, and then make it as complicated as you can. But of course, establishing the groove first. So I established the groove first. This is probably a minute in now. Snares are on.
So in other words, that groove got permutated into whatever it was.
Well, I think because it was the same time signature, same tempo. You just transitioned into a new genre, rock. So I did that. Snares were on at the time, and then transitioned to the ride. Play some bell licks for a bit.
What was the hand technique when you were doing the ride? Was it more of like a double stroke, a paradiddle, an inverted paradiddle?
That's a good question. I actually never all I know is that the bell was trying to hit 2 and 4, and then just try to make something out of it. Yeah,
between the 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm. Between the two, yeah.
Like it's gonna come in at 2 and 4.
Yeah.
But if I could put some little notes in between 2 and 4, it's there.
That was the general idea.
Regardless of no hand technique really. I mean, it wasn't rudimental.
I think it was. I just didn't know what rudiments it was.
Nice.
Yeah, because I mean, at this time, I already had a foundation of how to play a groove properly.
Yeah.
You know, I knew where to place the ghost notes. I knew where to hit the snare on 2 and 4.
Right.
So that basically just went into my head without knowing the rudiments. You know, LR. That was just feel at that point.
Look at this. The reason why I'm asking that is because there are drummers who don't know how it feels because in their head, they're actually playing hand techniques. And then there are drummers who knows, like you, who knows it's a hand technique. I just don't really care what kind of hand technique it is because it feels right.
Yeah, it feels right
for the moment.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And so that's but that's been natural for me ever since my times at high school.
Because remember, your uncle actually started you with the foundation of hugging mom and dad, which means ownership of the kid, appreciation for the kid and what it is you're doing, and dynamics.
Yes.
So you started out with a Latin beat, going into a rock groove, which probably got the people clapping.
Yeah, and then actually rolled in to, let's see. That's when after that moment was actually the time where I started displacing. If you watch the Drum Channel interview, I think I linked it somewhere on my YouTube page, but it's there. What's really nice was Greg talked about my solo, Greg Bisonet. And he noticed what I was doing. He understood exactly what I was doing. He's told me that I was displacing.
But you knew you were displacing.
But I was, yes. That was exactly the point. So I was playing like, I believe it's 3/4, I believe. It was this kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so more of a dotted.
One was doing a triplet, one was doing a
dotted eighth. Yeah, so it's dotted eighth kind of feel. And that was the idea that led into the second part of the solo, which was the shuffle. So
in other words,
I transitioned.
You know what? It's nice. So rock beat is a 4/4 beat.
Yes.
Then you did more of like a polyrhythm 3/4, right? What?
Yep.
And then deleting the 4, going into a 6/8 kind of.
It was more of a
Was it a fast shuffle or a slow?
slow. It was slow. Yeah. I would say. Yeah. That kind of-
Okay. So still 4/4.
Yeah, still 4/4.
Yes. But the superimposition of two time signatures allowed you to go into that.
Yeah. So, and that was planned in before Hollywood, I think, because when I did that, I was just like, wait, this works. This works. So we did shuffle. I did shuffle because I like jazz. I love jazz. So, so I did that just to establish shuffle. What really got the crowd going was my dynamics, I think, because I was very, very quiet. I was very, very quiet.
And you were playing to the audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were feeding off their feedback, right?
Yeah. So, but there was this one part in the solo where it just got everyone out of their seats, I think.
Where?
It was,
Which part was this?
at the shuffle part. I was playing very quiet, like very, very quiet. And then all of a sudden, I hit the drums loud. And then they're like, whoa. You'll see it in the solo. You'll see it in the solo. You'll hear it. The crowd was like, damn, you know.
At this point, did you know that you were in control?
No. It was anyone's night. Yeah, because that's how much respect I had for all the competitors. Everyone, all of them did a great job. Everyone.
So after the shuffle, where did we go?
We did the shuffle thing, and then I did the dotted notes, the dotted eights. That was the idea. That's when Greg was like, you started displacing. So that's what I did. So on top of that, that was the 4/4.
Yeah.
And then the dotted notes was
nice.
same tempo. People don't know that. This is why people like to rag on my solo, because they don't really understand what was going on. Greg absolutely knew what was going on.
That's a Peter Erskine, by the way.
Yeah, it is. And so, but he told me exactly what was going on. I was doing dotted eights.
Yes, you were
on top of 4/4.
Yeah.
So, I did that, and then I even took it a step further, just to drive the groove a little bit. I made the dotted eights be the kicks. So
Whoa.
that was like, whoa, what is this guy doing? Like that. That's how they know.
Wait, you really inverted the top to the bottom to the top?
No, not really. Well, I mean, I was playing a 4/4 groove.
Yeah.
4/4 shuffle technically, and then but the dotted eights was on my foot.
Right.
So that's when people were like, so if it was like this, it would be,
Yes.
and then I played.
Yes.
So that was the idea there. Yeah. So that's when like the polyrhythmic gurus, they were like, oh my God, you see what he's playing there? Y'all don't understand. Now, of course, to the average consumer, they're like, what?
Yes.
He's not in 4 anymore.
Yes.
But like the drum gurus, they're like, oh, so,
Yes.
so that was the idea, just to,
Of course.
not only to show my rhythmic prowess, but also to like really drive the groove forward. Cause I wanted it to go somewhere before I transitioned.
And you know what? To people who are listening, don't get lost. The reason why I wanted you to dissect your solo, and remember, we're still at the part where you're doing another superimposition, but this time your dotted eights are on the feet. The reason why I wanted you to go over this is because when you did the rock beat, that wasn't for the judges.
No.
That was for the audience.
That was for the audience, yeah.
This, when you superimpose two time signatures to create a polyrhythm,
Yeah.
that's not for the audience.
No.
Those are for the judges.
That was my assessment, my approach when it came like
And I don't know if you were aware of this, but bottom line is you need to know who your audience are. And you did.
Yeah.
You were aware that there's a crowd, the masses watching it.
Yeah.
And this is a competition, which meant there are judges who actually would understand what you are doing.
Yes.
And you had to play to them too. And the reason why I'm making this emphasis is because other people might think when you're performing or when you're presenting, they ignore people in the audience because they don't know who their audience is. But in your case, you were fully aware.
Oh yeah,
who your audience?
I was fully aware that my audience were, number one, they were full of drummers, but at the same time, general consumers.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're generally, because Sheila E. performed that night,
right?
So they were probably there just to see Sheila E.
Right.
So great, I don't care.
Right, true though. Yeah,
yeah. So,
but you were the awareness is 100% there. Because when you said rock beat, I was like, play to the audience.
Yeah, play to the audience.
And then dynamic low, and then bam, audience reacts.
Yep,
playing to the audience.
Yeah.
And then polyrhythm there. Afterwards, what happened?
Polyrhythm there, and then like after driving the groove forward, we went into just a little bit of an hip hop groove that just like ended the solo.
Just to get the people going like that again. To bring it home.
To bring it home, yeah.
For the judges and the audience, the general consumers, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, but that was the time where I had to show my chops. So, so I did that. But of course, established the groove first. And then after that, we reached the end where I'm just doing whatever I can just to like, yo, look at me, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So just try to make it work. And when I started that groove, that hip hop groove, that was the 4-minute mark.
Oh, so I had a minute.
So when Guy hit me, tapped me on the shoulder, I knew I had a lot of time. Yeah, because I rehearsed it so many times with my dad that I know when he's going to tap me. So,
and it was around you were anticipating around that time he was going to tap you.
Yeah, and he did, and I was just like, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, so because that was like in my head for a little bit while I was doing it. I know I was multitasking. I shouldn't have been, but it was there just in case like things go south. I had a backup plan. So
there was situational awareness at play.
Yeah.
You were in the moment.
In the moment, but also at the same time, there's this notion in the back of my head: if he doesn't hit you, just be aware. So, but he hit me at the exact moment. I'm just like, we're good. We're in business. And so I ended my solo perfectly. I would say,
After that, you heard the applause. And then what?
Went backstage. But what was really cool is that I actually got to shake Greg Mason's hand. He was a great guy. Oh my goodness.
Lovely guy.
Yeah, lovely guy.
When he came to the Philippines back in 1994.
Did you do a clinic?
He did a clinic. And he used my Tama kit. Yeah, he used my kit.
Wow, you need to flex that. Did he sign it?
He signed it. And there are pictures. I think there's still pictures on the internet.
Yeah.
He did this at this nice place in El Pueblo in the Philippines. And he was using my blue Tama kit. So if you see pictures of him in the Philippines playing on a blue Tama kit, that was my kit.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So you got to shake his hands. You went backstage. You got high fives from your other peers. And then the humble moment came in. Not yet.
No. I didn't know whether I won or not, but I was accepting of the result. I was satisfied. I was perfectly fine with how I performed.
In your heart, you won.
Yes.
You've won in your heart.
Yeah. That was the notion. But if I didn't, it's okay. Because you know what was important at that time was that I had a great time. And
you did what you set out to do.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Oh yeah, I was completely satisfied. So, so right after I did the drum solo, that was it. Just relax. It's over. You did it. So just have a good time now. Just have a good time. I wasn't nervous after that. Because Sheila E. was there. So she was going to perform. So I was just like, when I heard her play, I was just like, yes, dude. Yes. This is the proper celebration that I needed. So it was very nice of her to perform. and then of course the results, right?
Results.
The
Okay.
results. So
Who were they gonna now? Was everybody a winner that night? Like everybody got, everybody
Oh,
got
yeah.
special mention and all that stuff.
on stage, no,
Okay, so they announced first runner up, second runner up.
no, just the winner,
Just the winner.
just the winner. Yep.
So how did they say it?
Well, if Greg said it actually, so like the winner, blah blah blah, and the first words that he said was from West Covina, and I'm from West Covina, so I'm just like, who else is that? That's not. Is it me? So it was amazing. So from West Covina, of course, he said my name, and then I walked out, and then of course like the whole stadium was like,
Were you pitching yourself? Or were you like,
No,
you
no,
knew this was gonna happen? Okay.
I was a little bit nervous, but at the same time, I was satisfied.
Nice.
This was before the result came out. Like again, like if I lost,
You've made peace, in other words.
Yeah,
right?
made peace,
Whatever the
yeah.
results were, you've made peace.
I'm not going to be salty about it. I'm not going to be a sore loser about it.
Yeah.
Like, it happened. I still get my video on YouTube. Thank you,
That's
Guitar
right.
Center. So,
Yeah.
but
And the journey was
it-
quite an experience also. Diba?
yeah, it was good.
That in itself
Yeah,
is
that
like,
in itself.
thank you.
Yeah, like I would have never ever dreamed of doing this like with my own funds, obviously.
yeah.
So the fact that the Guitar Center was like, "Oh, we'll take you to DW. Oh, well,
Oh, we'll give you a TD50.
yeah." So that's amazing. Yeah. So of course, when he announced my name, I was like, "Wow, yeah." I was taking it all in. I was not. I mean, like my heart was just like overwhelmed. I
Wow.
would think, yeah, because of all the I would say praise from the crowd. It was noisy. Like I wouldn't think it would be that noisy. So
And those were just your relatives. Just kidding.
well, see, what was funny is that they were, but at the same time, it's actually
Everybody.
the LA crowd.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was nobody at that time, and so when I knew that the audience were technically, you can say the drum community too.
Yeah.
Like before the finals, no one knew who I was.
Right.
Like I was just like, again, a Filipino just coming up, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they announced me as the winner and the whole Nova Theater was that noisy, I was just like, wow, thank you guys. Like, it was amazing. It was nice to experience that. Yeah. Knowing that I thought the crowd, because I thought the crowd had their loyal fans dedicated to
Yes.
the other competitors. So yeah, it was just, whew, my goodness. I still remember it. Gives me like shaking.
Yeah, me
body,
too.
yeah.
Nice. This is
Yeah.
nice. Okay, when we come back, guys, Mark, I want you to share with us what you brought home. Okay?
Okay.
The spoils of being a champion.
Yes.
We'll talk about that when we come back after this short break. And we're back. So, champ. See? Hindi na Mark, champ na ngayon kasi nakwento mo na eh. Now, Mr. Champion, what did you bring home?
A lot of stuff.
Okay. You
of
knew
stuff.
going in you were going to get a lot of stuff
Yes.
if you want,
Yes.
right? Are these stuff that you need, or are these stuff that even if you don't need, you just consider them blessings? What are they?
Choice number 2, for sure. I've always considered myself like, when I play with a band, very basic drummer. I used to be a chop guy, no longer. I'm not really like right now. Like when it comes to playing music within the band, it's just supporting the band and
You've matured.
yeah, matured. Oh my god! Like I look at my past videos. Oh no! Like I shouldn't have. I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that, and I shouldn't have done that. That kind of thing. I criticize myself, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. So I say that because, do I need a Roland Octopad? No. Do I need a Roland SPDSX? Okay, yes.
Maybe, yeah. Especially in this music genre. Yeah.
But definitely the Octopad, no.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely especially since, that was like required. It gave me a little bit of like a bitter taste towards the Octopad. So that's why I say no towards the Octopad and yes towards the SPDSX. Do I need a Roland TD50K KV? No. I would say no, but I'm glad that it's there.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's there. It's a huge blessing. The fact that I get to play at 3 a.m.
Right?
At home is very, very nice. Very nice. But, me and my parents have worked so hard in our house to a point where I'm actually able to play drums in my house, acoustic drums, without bothering the neighbors.
Yes.
So that's a great blessing. But I see the TD50 KV as a blessing, like, the cherry on top. I get to practice. I have no excuses to practice anymore. So, but I would say, choice number 2. But
did you get any endorsements?
I did. And that was thanks to the NAMM show. Guitar Center gave me an exclusive VIP tour. I was able to stay at the Hilton. That was literally like 5 feet away from the show.
Nice.
So nice room, very generic, but the
fully paid for.
Fully paid for, yes, fully paid for. So I got the full VIP experience of getting to meet all the artist relations of every company. At the time, it was the drum companies that sponsored the event: DW, Gretsch, Tama, Yamaha, and Pearl. Yeah, Pearl. Okay. I was like, I almost forgot my endorsement. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So, and then cymbals was Zildjian, Sabian, and Meinl. Okay. And then for drum heads, it was only Remo and Evans.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on that, I got to meet every single one of them, every artist relations from there. Believe it or not, my uncle was an accordion artist. So he's an accordion artist right now. So I played their product at at the drum off. So I had a custom snare drum by Ford drums. And it had an accordion head on it. So shout out to them. But right now I think it was so I met every artist relations within that circle.
Now, you were able to have a conversation with all these A&R
Absolutely,
people, right?
And I was honored. Oh my gosh, they were so nice.
Who offered you what?
Should I say this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think when it came,
Mark, you're an inspiration to kids who want to be where you are.
Oh, thanks.
And you're an informant to parents who can help their kids get to where they are.
Oh, of course.
I want you to see what your value is, son.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. So I think based on presentation, and basically this is the reason why I'm with them, it was Pearl had the best show, I think. Pearl's AR was not there to greet me, but the staff was, and they treated me like family. Like that's the most
away.
Right away. I just became champion. So like, I was always a fan of Pearl, but just the staff was just, oh my goodness. Like,
so what did they do? They offered you
they gave
full endorsement.
Well, yeah.
A drum kit.
Yeah. That was the prize. That was the prize that they signed. So, or that was the deal that they signed, not the prize. So, regardless of any company that I went with, they had to give me a custom kit. So,
what'd you get?
Oh, have you not seen it? It's a Pearl reference.
No, I've seen it, but I want you to talk about it.
All right. So let's flex on the gear here. But of course, again, Pearl had it. That's very important. Like the staff treats you very well.
Yes.
Like I know you're with Zildjian and they treat us very well.
Yeah, you're with Zildjian too. So shout out Kirsten Mack.
Yeah, she's amazing. Awesome. Yeah.
Very awesome.
And I miss her a lot because pandemic.
Yeah.
This is all in.
Oh my God.
We miss. I mean, we miss new symbols.
True that.
Yeah, true that. So, all right, gear time. So, gear time. What I got was their newest drums at the time was the Music City Custom. If you don't know what that is, it was drums, Pearl drums, actually Pearl custom drums. Add an adjective after another adjective. Pearl custom drums that were delivered from Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
And these drums are actually just reference pure, and masters, but custom finishes. They offer 29 wraps or whatever. I don't know how many wraps that they have, but they offered some good wraps. And
what wrap did you get?
I got turquoise glass.
Turquoise glass.
I got it because of my obsession with Hatsune Miku, the Vocaloid girl with the teal hair. So, but
what are the specs of the drums?
Well, I think the benefits first was it was a custom kit.
Yes.
That was delivered to you in a turnaround of 14 business days. Ooh. Yeah. So if you ordered a custom kit anywhere, you guys know it's going to be very, very long.
Yeah.
I ordered at February, came at March.
Wow.
That's it. Done deal. Yeah. It was quick to the bone. Didn't have to pay a cent. So it was amazing. So spec wise, it is a 9-piece, I would say.
Wow, dami, huh?
Yeah, dame.
Is it on a rack?
Walong rack.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had a rack now because I think it looks cool. My friend, Nate Morton?
No.
So he's the drummer of The Voice.
Okay.
NBC The Voice, and great friend of mine, fellow Pearl artist and Zildjian artist. But he's a big rack guy, and
I think it's easier.
It's easier, and the more I look at it, I'm just like, I should have gotten a rack, but it's fine.
Okay.
But all simple stance.
Oh my God.
But what was special about mine, because usually people like Virgin kicks, I'm not a fan of Virgin kicks, so yes. I got a tom holder. So my specs were a 9-piece kit. I had an 8x7, 10x8, 12x8, 14x14, 16x16.
5. Okay, no, those are 5 toms.
5 toms. And
you have a snare.
I do have a snare. 2 snares, actually. So it's 14 by 6.5 and 14 and 5.
Wait, the 14 and 5, is that a side snare or?
Side and main.
Okay.
So
it's more of like interchangeable.
Mm-hmm, interchangeable. But right now, I'm very lazy, so I'm just, it's like in its case, or I use
two more drums.
2 more drums. So
we got the snares, and then what? The kick.
The kick is a kick, only one.
Okay.
And then it's a 22 by 18.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that 9 pieces?
8.
It's 8. I'm sorry.
Said the guy from math.
Yeah, I know exactly. Whoo, my Lord.
Okay. That then Roland gave you.
Roland gave me.
Is this a full endorsement from Roland?
No endorsement. No endorsement.
Just
so the only endorsements that technically they didn't offer is Roland, and I think Vic Firth didn't endorse me. So they just gave me 144 pairs of sticks.
Wow.
So I had those pairs of sticks running for about 3 years. I'm on my last brick. So yeah, I'm on my last brick. So
like they gave you 12 dozen.
Yeah.
Was
12,
it?
yeah, 12 dozen. Yeah. It was a lot. Kept me going through 3 years. Haven't bought a stick since. So but slowly down to my last brick.
Dang.
Yeah, it took 3 years.
Cash prize?
Cash prize was $25K.
Taxable.
Yeah, taxable naman. But see, the thing is, Guitar Center never did anything about it.
Really?
Yeah. Secret.
Okay. Daming blessing, no?
Yeah, it was.
Then for a year, did you have to represent Guitar Center? No.
No, I did not.
Not like beauty pageants where you had to go do the rounds, none.
No. And in fact, I never done my clinic. Yeah.
You were supposed to.
I was supposed to, yeah.
But Guitar Center got into some entanglement. And
I'm not entirely sure what happened. I guess some miscommunications.
But if they asked you to do clinics, would you do a clinic?
Of course. In a heartbeat. I just wondered who will come.
I think a lot of people would come, but
it's just very, very difficult right
I
now.
hope that when you do a clinic, this is unsolicited advice. I hope when you do a clinic, go back to what your uncle taught you.
Oh, yeah. It's very important to me. Yeah.
Because not every drummer will be capable of doing chops, but every drummer will be capable of doing dynamics.
Yeah. I agree.
And learn to appreciate. Because ang ganda like what your uncle said, if I go back to that, you embracing your mom and dad.
Yeah.
There are a lot of meanings to that. When you were younger, it could be, submitting yourself to the kit or being one with the kit, right? But right now, as you've matured, wherein you're saying, napapansin mo na you used to be an all over the place kind of chops guy, and now you're like, I'm serving the music. That embracing mom and dad thing could be more of like embracing your bandmates and embracing the music itself, right?
Yeah.
Could
Exactly.
be that.
Yeah.
And then dynamics is still a key factor, which means situational awareness. You know that who's point guard.
Yeah.
A drummer is normally
Point guards a basketball.
point guard sa basketball. Quarterback sa football.
Yeah, that's correct. Bus driver naman.
Bus driver, di ba? That's who we are, di ba?
Yeah,
That's who we are.
of course. Yeah.
We drive these people. Like sabi ko nga sa football, wide receiver would be the vocalist. Kasi siya yung nagta-touchdown
Yeah.
Di naman tayo
Correct. Yeah.
Pero tayo ang nag-feed sa buong banda as drummers.
I agree.
So between you and me, mas ikaw ang mag-clinic. So I hope ma-impart mo yan sa mga...
Yeah, the young generation. Yeah. We live in such a world of social media that's
Right?
so influenced by it. And I love the content that
I mean, no
disrespect.
no disrespect to what they're
I love the
doing.
content.
Yeah.
And you know what? These drummers are very respectful
Yes.
to me. And when I meet them, they're very gracious people. But, I think, we're ingraining the new generation with this mindset of, chops over groove.
Dang, never.
And I'm like, when was it ever about that?
Alam mo ba, funny story, I know, I just want to share this. When I was 17, I learned how to play the drums at 15.
Oh, wow.
And when I was 16, I was going into Dave Weckl. I was going into Jeff Porcaro. But at 17, I went back to Ringo Starr and Kenny Aronoff.
It's probably the best decision you ever made.
But I'll tell you how I went there.
Okay.
I was playing with a bunch of rock legends from the Philippines.
You were?
Yes, at 17. And I had the opportunity to sit in and jam with all these people. I had situational awareness, or so I thought. I guess I did not. I had chops at that time. I wanted to show them at that time, Master Plan was out. So Dave Weckles, so I was trying to do displacements all over rock grooves.
Yep.
And I was finally out when we were having pizza with all these rock legends from the Philippines. One of them actually cussed me out. But before cussing me out, said, "Oh, this guy Paco, good guy, good chops. Wow, he can go places." And my head was swelling so big. And then finally, in front of other rock legends, he goes, "This son of a bitch is so selfish.
Oh.
This son of a bitch, you son of a bitch." And he kept saying that in Tagalog. And I was like, "Oh, shoot, what's going on?" And this guy goes, "You know what? If this was a basketball game, you're an a-hole player. Because I'm in the paint. No one's guarding me. And you just kept dribbling and dribbling and dribbling the ball and trying to make a shot and missing. But here I am, ready to take that shot. But you were unaware of my existence."
Keyword easy shot. All right.
And he was a guitar player.
Oh, wow. And a guitarist and a guitar player said that.
And,
Wow.
and at the end of the whole conversation, he goes, "Wag ka buwakaw.
What's that mean?
Don't be selfish."
That the Tagalog, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
So wag kang buwakaw. That's in Tagalog. So don't be selfish is what he said.
Yeah.
We're jamming. You're not doing a drum solo, baby.
Exactly.
Play with us.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I didn't know if I was going to cry or hang up my sticks or just turn my back entirely. But I made a decision, you know what? This guy has a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from then on, I was like listening to John Mellencamp, listening to the Beatles, listening to, let me hear what the drummer is doing.
He's doing, yeah.
And that was the start of my career. That's how it all started.
Right.
So that removed the pressure of being a drummer to being a musician.
I love that you said that. Yeah.
Diba?
Drummer. Yeah.
That's where you are now.
Yeah.
Right now, you're a musician.
Yeah. Of course.
Diba? All of a sudden, what you did was you removed that pressure of, wait, whoa. This is not a circus. I'm not.
Yeah.
When I play behind, I can do the circus, but I'm not in a circus.
Yeah. Diba? Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And like to expand on that, I think it's also the idea where me and you, and this goes for the new generation as well, we all have to be teachable.
Yes.
At that time, whether it's harsh,
yes,
or it's very nice. Fortunately, I never had the harsh treatment.
I know.
Yeah, but you know, getting approached like that, telling me like, yo, relax.
Right?
I had to really like, because I had an ego, right?
This is where the humility comes in. Let's talk about that.
That's really what it is. Like you have, when you're with a band, regardless, if you're playing at church, like church, I got away with the chop stuff, but I can't get away with that for long,
Yes.
So I look at that as like, I still got a job, I still got to drive the band. I'm not here to, show off. Well, I mean, there's times, and I know I'm very blessed by the Lord that, when the time comes, I'm able to still do it, so, but of course, the main job is to just support the band.
Parang si Tony Royster.
Yeah.
Right? And then nilagay mo kay Jay-Z and all, anong ginagawa niya kay Jay-Z? Groove.
Just groove. Yeah, I don't know if people really know that, because like people in social media, they look at, Tony Royster or Eric Moore as a really heavy chops guy. But I don't know if you noticed that Eric Moore played with Eros Ramazzotti.
Yes.
Yeah.
And groove lang yun.
And just groove. He's just grooving. Like, and I was just like, when I saw him play, I was just like, wow, he's finally living it. Yeah. Because like, you see his stories.
Ang galing,
Yeah.
The chops get you noticed. The grooves get you the gig.
The gig. Absolutely. I agree 100%. And Eric Moore just drove that notion a lot further.
Yes.
Just drove it a lot further.
So, kailan pumasok ang humility sa buhay mo? Because you said prior to the contest, that ego was there. You're riding high, but now you're, kumbaga, kanina, before, off cam, when we were talking off cam, you're like, no. There is humility in my heart.
I think every time that, I definitely was after the drum off for sure. Because I've always been getting praises from drummers all around the world.
Yeah.
Whether it's in person at the time, in person or via
social media,
DMs and stuff like that. Like, they said, like, thank you for inspiring us, all that jazz. But the thing was, like, it wasn't me. It was the Lord. So, like, that's my mindset now because, I think my humanness would love to embrace it.
Yeah.
But it gets you, I think it kind of like gets you away from like, the reality that this was like the drumming thing is a gift. It's a huge gift. So
would you say that more or less God has blessed you to become a blessing to other people?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Without him, he has the option to still let me have it or to take it away. So the fact that he's still blessing me with it, I'm still able to worship him with it. That's all that really matters to me. And that's when the humility comes in.
Nice.
That's when the humility comes in because, like I'm able to be taught. I'm teachable. Like I'm coachable, right? And
You're not. Nah, I know
I'm
that.
like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like, no. Like I really like, like if I take any advice from you, if I take any advice from anyone else, even from people who are not drummers specifically, like I don't give a blind eye
Yes.
to them. Like I accept everything, whether it's BS or not.
Diba? You have to filter it inside.
Filter, yeah.
Self-filtering na lang, hindi yung talk to the hand.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
gonna do that,
So,
yeah.
so that's very, very, very important to me. Yeah.
And even your aura, even your vibe is very positive.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
so I
you.
appreciate that about you.
Oh, yeah.
So what's next for you
Well, right now we're just going through a pandemic. And
after the pandemic, though? What's
pandemic?
yeah.
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure at this point. I'm still like just promoting my YouTube channel, and work.
By the way, I will post a link in the description below so that you can subscribe to Mark's
So
YouTube channel.
and I'm still going to school. My parents encourage me to go to school just to have an open mind. And what's really great about them is that they want me to play music still.
Right?
So, even though when I'm in school, even when I graduate, okay, because I'm going to graduate in say 2 to 3 years.
Nice.
So once I do that, they want me to play. Yeah, they don't want me to like
To go into the academe.
Yeah,
Not yet.
they really want me to like let's see what we can do with drums. So right now, it's just
Give it a chance,
mm-hmm.
Mark. Since your mom and dad will still want you to play, given a chance, who would you like to play behind?
Hatsune Miku. That's a rhetorical question. Yeah, I would say that because I mean not only because I love her so much, but I think when I went to her concert at 2018. By the way, I went to her concert in 2018. The reason being was my friend from Puerto Rico won a song contest in there. And I was the drummer for it. So I recorded. So that song that won second place was featured in her EP. Yeah, the
Nice.
2018 EP. So that sold over 1 million copies. And so the Vocaloid community knows who I am.
Yes.
So, and they definitely know my friend now. So it was a huge blessing. My friend flew over from Puerto Rico, stayed at my place, met him in person for the first time. It was an amazing experience. So we went to Miku's concert. If you know what she is, she's just avatar persona.
Yeah.
Vocaloid persona. But the music was just great.
Have you ever reached out to her? No.
Well, see, she's not real. So she has a company behind her, Krypton. I have reached out, but of course, no reply. So they're
At
big.
least you've reached out.
Yeah, they're a big company, and they know who I. They know who I am.
Right.
But what really helps is that one of the former drummers that played with her in Japan, they know who I am, and so me and him, we just message back and forth. Also because he's a fellow Pearl drummer too.
Google Translate. How do you guys talk?
Oh, he actually understands my English. Fortunately, yeah, he does. He actually understands my English, so that's very nice. But he's also that drummer that I talked to was also the main reason why I play Pearl drums. Yeah, it's him and Nate Morton from The Voice, but he's one of the reasons why because let me tell you a story about it.
Tell me a story.
Because growing up, I was watching a lot of Miku concerts, a lot. And in 2013, they had this concert in Kansai, Japan, I believe. And he had a drum solo.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you there, but
Okay.
we'll take a short break. I want to talk about that.
Of course.
Just so that let's get this message in, and then we'll get back with Mark and his drum solo again
Yes.
after the break. And we're back. So now we we stopped at drum solo. You're
Yeah.
gonna do a drum solo.
Yeah. So okay. So his name is Ryochi Kikushima. He was the drummer for Miku at the time. He still does play with her, based on location.
Okay.
But the thing was, he had a Pearl Masters kit, same setup as mine, except that it was a Masters.
Not custom.
No, not custom. I don't think.
Okay.
But it was just, when I heard it, I was just like, wow.
Are you one of are you one of those guys who's one of those drummers who's particular about the drum sound?
Not really, not
Okay.
really. But when I heard Pearl, I was just like, I need one.
Okay.
So the drum off was obviously the best opportunity. So I mean, on top of that, Pearl treated me like I was their son.
Nice, no?
So, oh yeah, of course. So I took that in consideration, signed with them, and been with them for, this is my third year.
Third year.
Yeah, third year.
Can you ask another drum kit? Would they give you another drum kit?
I would get a good
Discount.
artist discount. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And they actually hooked me up with some really good artist deals. So
Okay.
when I have the appropriate funds, then I would get some gear from them. But I think at the moment I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I currently have three Pearl kits right now. Yeah, and one of them is vintage. So which is very nice. Which is very nice. I have a Pearl Masters right now, and then I have a Pearl Vintage Export Series. Yeah, but the thing was,
Wait. When you say vintage, were they made in Japan still or
I think it was.
Taiwan?
I think it should be Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay.
They were in the 90s.
Okay.
So I would still say vintage, but
You know what,
those were the ones I grew up with.
You know what? I hate you.
Bucket.
90s vintage.
That's what they call it. They call
that
it.
would probably be my Pearl Expert kit.
Yeah.
To me, vintage is 70s.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good. You know what? I'm looking for those, but so far no great deals. But
Yeah. Okay. 90s vintage.
yeah. So ever since Ryochi played Pearl, I was just like, yeah, Pearl's the right choice. So
Okay.
yeah, that was basically why I signed with them. And then the other reason was also because of Nate Morton. Actually, guys don't know. Again, he is the drummer of NBC's The Voice. And what was really, really nice is that after the drum off happened, there was a party. So he was the first one that like greeted me the time I went inside the party. He was just like, holy shit. Like, I am so glad to meet. Like, he was like ecstatic. I was just like, why are you ecstatic? Because he saw it and like he loved it and like he was major fan. And the thing was, I was a major fan before I even thought about doing the drum off. You know, I watched all of his drum videos, all the way to this day, to present day. Always watched him, always supported him. We have each other on phone, text each other
Nice.
from time to time. And like he's and he told me like, yo, you need backline? I got you.
What if he asks you to sit in at one of
Oh, I would so grab it.
Are you ready?
I would.
You'd be ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause
Do you read?
I do.
Okay.
I do. But the thing was, I learned how to like make my own charts through him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because remember Nate actually plays like 100 songs per week.
Yeah.
So he has no time to write charts.
Yes.
Like with the melodic notes.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
It's more of like a guide.
Yeah. So he has his hieroglyphic system that he uses, and I use it. I adopted it because it was quick.
Fast.
It was fast. Because the thing was, the songs that he was learning, very basic. Right. It's not the fusion.
Yes.
Right. Like he's not playing any fusion/jazz songs. So the charts were very, very basic and simple to understand. So I adopted that, and when it came to learning new music for church or any other band, I adopted that system, and I only need to listen to it once.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would be the hardest genre for you?
Latin. Really hard metal. Like it has to be like if it's really, really double pedal heavy, I have to work on that. So, but definitely Latin, metal, probably pretty fast jazz. Like if we go like up tempo swing, yeah, I want to be able to go that route. And I know there's some other genres that would give me trouble. I think probably like the most complicated gospel stuff would definitely like.
How do you practice?
Ooh, practice. Like, what do you mean? Like,
how would you practice your chops?
It's a good question. And because honestly, when it comes to chops, I don't really like expand on them very much because.
But you had to get your vocabulary in, right? When you were starting.
Yes. So okay. So it was actually through watching a lot of gospel chop videos. And then trying to implement it, try to understand what they were doing. Start slow. And the thing was I had a friend who was also a fellow champion, Tony Taylor. Tony Taylor Jr., very great guy. Love him to death. And we're just like brothers. But I watched his videos. I told him I'm inspired, like teach me a lick. He teaches me a lick. And so we've been friends ever since. And but that was like my first dive into the gospel chop world.
All right.
Right? Because I was never introduced to gospel chops until Tony Taylor came around. Right? I mean, I knew who Eric Moore and Tony Royster was, but I never labeled them as as like those guys from gospel chops. Like they do it, but I never like viewed them as that. I always viewed them as like, oh, these guys are very, very fast. That's what I viewed them as. I never like labeled them as a gospel choppers. Yeah. So when Tony introduced me to that world, I was just like, this is very interesting because it's like solo oriented, but it helps each other out.
Right.
Because the general idea of a shed is actually not to show off, is to actually work on your vocabulary, like you said.
Yes.
So, because like people view it as a competition sometimes. Like it's not. You go to a shed, you're not there to compete. We're not competing.
You're there to to give and get.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. So, and one of my friends told me like it's like when you're shedding with someone in front of you, or how many other drummers are playing with you. It's like, view it as like you're having a conversation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, let's see how deep your language can be. So it was more of an encouragement thing, not a competition, like to show who's better.
We're drummers. We're not guitar players.
Yeah, exactly. But that kind of mindset kind of runs to the drummers world too. Like I bet there's I have no doubts that there's some cats like who's just there wants to just like kill people on the kit. Yes. I'm just like, yeah, you can do that, but what's that gonna do?
Yep.
Right? I'm still alive, you know? So like the proper drum set players would view a shed that way.
So now you've learned this new lick, you've learned this new chop. You go back to your own place and shed by yourself.
Right.
When do you tell yourself, yup, nailed it? When does it become like that?
It's a good question too. Man, you give me some good questions. I love them. But I would say, honestly, I don't think I mastered it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I mastered it. Because there's just little details, just little details. The stroke, the angle, the velocity of, how hard you hit and the technique that you use, it affects everything.
Yes.
And that's what's really good about like doing a shed. Like you can hear yourself.
Yes.
For the first time, or even if it's the first time or like the thousandth time, you hear yourself like, okay, that kind of stuff. But you get to hear yourself. Like, and it doesn't even, and what's really, really funny is that you can hear yourself on another kit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not your kit.
Yes.
You just go there.
And then you're not used to the sound, and now this is different.
Exactly. Now this is different.
it throws you off sometimes, right?
Yeah, so that's why I would say I didn't master it. No. And I mean, because there's always still ways to go. There's always still ways to go. And the thing is, when you watch those videos for the new gens, like, don't get discouraged when you see those things.
Yes.
Because, like, people have this mindset of, like, oh, I'm going to quit because, like, this guy is just, like, crazy. He's not you, right? So, I mean, you just gotta realize that, you know, that those videos inspire me rather than discourage me, that kind of thing. Because when you talk to them, especially Tony Taylor, because he sheds when he was younger, but, you know, when you talk to them, they're generally nice people. Like, they're not there to, like,
you have to flex.
Yeah. They're not there to flex. You know, they're there to inspire, absolutely. And so when they told that to me, I was just like, oh, then that's encouraging.
You know, the way I see it, when I watch gospel chop artists, Eric Moore, those people, all like that, I get excited because they're doing something to an instrument I already have. Does that make sense? In other words, these are the drums, right?
Yeah.
These are his drums. These are my drums.
Right.
He's doing that on his drums. I have a similar configuration on my drums.
Yes.
So the only thing I need to work on is me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that should be the mindset when you practice. It's not, that's so important. I'm so glad you said that, because that's so important when it comes to practicing. It's like, you're not practicing to improve a rudiment.
Yeah.
You're not practicing to improve your musicality, right? You're practicing to improve yours. Yeah. Oh, that was so deep. Oh, I agree 100%. Yeah, that's the mindset that we need to establish.
Because your discipline plays a big part.
Oh, yes.
Your commitment plays a big part. You mentioned rudiment. Rudiments are not going to change. They'll always be there.
Always be there, yeah.
What about you? Are you going to be there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that's kind of like the reason why I don't really like work on like the little stuff a lot. Like, you know, playing like 7/8 on top of 4/4. I don't really do that kind of stuff because I know when I play in a band, that's not going to be me.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I love Mike Portnoy. I love all those guys that do the polyrhythmic stuff, but I know for a fact that's not going to be me. So
yes,
like, my job is to just drive a band. So the thing that I do when I practice is just jam.
Which is good, right?
Yeah, just jam. I just plug my ears in with some bomb music, whichever you prefer, and just jam to it.
Because you know what, other drummers may not be aware. Even any musician for this matter may not be aware. But the music you put out, the performances you put out on social media, is actually your resume. And if they don't represent who you are, like what you said, you're wasting everybody's time. Because you might be invited to audition for a gig you never really want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the same time, you might never get invited to an audition for a gig that you've been wanting to do, because the music that's out there that kind of represents you on the space isn't really
you. Yeah, that's correct. So, you know, when I post stuff on Instagram, that's like really me. Like, I remember this one time where my friend Vlad, I forgot his last name, fellow pro artist, but he was like, you know, commenting about like he shouldn't be lectured by certain people, by certain drum group who claim to be drum gurus. And I was like, I agree with that completely, because like, you know, like those people who comment, like, where have you been? You know? Like, this dude right now is a Berkeley graduate. graduated from Berkeley, playing jazz full time, being a full time musician, living the life, or trying to make ends meet or something of the sort. But the point is, he's being a full time musician, and keyboard warriors are just
I know. I know.
So
why is it always there?
So I told you. So when I want to express myself, like I really, really express myself. So I posted a video in response to what he said. I told him chops over groove. It was so funny because like it was a joke, obviously. So like I'm the drum master. I'll tell you what to do. So I did like I was so fast. I was like drumming all over the toms and just going crazy. He laughed at it. It was very entertaining for him. So, but like see like even it's not just the drums either. It's actually also the room that I'm in. Like you look at my room, you see Miku all over it. Because that represents who I am. Like I'm just a cheerful guy who really, really likes Hatsune Miku as my dream gig. That would be my dream gig. And, that's mainly what I enjoy playing. And yeah, so, I mean, social media, yeah, please don't be fake. That'd be great.
I know, right?
When you post, I know you're real. You know you're genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you are. So, and that's very great that I get to experience that. Yeah. Yeah, and when I saw you on Instagram, I was just like, hold on, that deserves a follow. I really know who you are. We just haven't met yet. So
thank you.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're here. So.
Right. But anyway, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you.
Oh man, I appreciate.
This is the first of many. Huh? I want you to come back when the pandemic's over. I want you to.
Of course.
I want you to get behind the kit because we do have performances. And,
okay. Yeah. You got me, and well, I mean, because you're in the SGV, so
we're practically neighbors.
Yeah, we're practically neighbors.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll get together more often.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Pacpaco, Paco Arespacochaga podcast. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you a lot.